Federal judge strikes down New York City's Dragnet that seized thousands of cars without warrants. In the latest blow against civil forfeiture, Judge Ronnie Abrams ruled that New York City's policy of seizing cars without warrants violated the owner's Fourth Amendment rights. As part of a strategy to crack down on unlicensed taxis and other vehicles for hire, between 2012 and 2015, inspectors for the city's Taxi and Limousine Commission, TLC, seized nearly 25,000 cars they suspected were transporting passengers without the government's permission. During that time, a medallion to own or lease a taxi cost over $1 million, preventing many New Yorkers from running their own lawful cab companies. Under the city's administrative code, a car can be forfeited if the owner has previously violated the city's for-hire vehicle code at least twice in the past 36 months. But when inspectors seized plaintiffs Susan Calvo and Kelly Macon's cars, inspectors had no information on their histories. Nor had inspectors investigated any of their previous violations. Photo by Stephanie Keith/Getty Images. As Judge Abrams recounted, the city has provided no evidence that the TLC inspectors who effected the seizures at issue had any reasonable basis for believing that Calvo or Macon had been convicted of or found liable for any prior violations at the time of the seizures. In fact, even the Commission's Deputy Chief of Enforcement admitted in his deposition that inspectors don't look at whether or not a vehicle or a driver has been cited. He further revealed that while inspectors could call to find out if that vehicle has been seized before, that information does not play into any decision if that vehicle's going to be seized or not. Since the city provided no evidence that its inspectors knew of an owner's prior violations when seizing their vehicle, TLC inspectors do not have probable cause to believe a vehicle is subject to forfeiture, and so those seizures run afoul of the Fourth Amendment. Incredibly, the New York City decision actually marks the second time the TLC's warrantless Dragnet has been ruled unconstitutional. Calvo and Macon's lawsuit emerged from an earlier class action that was also filed against the Commission's seizure policy. But that class action lawsuit was limited to property owners whose cars had been seized based on allegations of first-time violations. In September 2015, Judge Valerie Capernay ruled in favor of the owners, who included not just unlicensed cab drivers, but also ordinary New Yorkers who faced baseless charges. One of the plaintiffs, Pedro Camacho, had his car seized after TLC inspectors believed he had dropped off an Asian woman at JFK Airport who had paid for a ride. In reality, Camacho had dropped off his Hispanic niece, who wasn't even questioned by inspectors. Fortunately for him, the Commission ultimately dropped charges and returned his seized car. Judge Capernay also rejected the TLC's arguments that the cars were contraband or posed a danger to society, either of which would permit a warrantless seizure. Probable cause is not a talismanic phrase that can be waved like a wand to justify the seizure of any property without a warrant, she wrote. However, while both judges agreed that the seizures violated the Fourth Amendment for first-time and repeat offenders, they split on due process. Unlike the first-time offenders, Calvo and Macon's cars could be seized for civil forfeiture, which meant that those seizures could happen without a hearing beforehand. Judge Abrams ruled that the city's procedures comply with due process, because they mandate a prompt hearing. Under the code, an administrative hearing must be held within 5 business days of a vehicle seizure. At that hearing, the Taxi and Limousine Tribunal has to decide if the owner engaged in the unlicensed activity alleged, and, if shown, demonstrate that the owner had at least 2 prior violations. The tribunal must also determine if it's necessary to keep the car impounded as the forfeiture case proceeds. Additionally, the city allows owners to post a bond before the hearing in order to quickly retrieve their cars. In one instance, Calvo recovered her vehicle hours after it was seized. At least the administrative code gets that right, though it would be better if the post-seizure hearing were held before a neutral magistrate instead of agency officials. Denying property owners a prompt, post-seizure hearing violates basic principles of fairness. Notably, several civil forfeiture schemes have been struck down for lacking this critical safeguard. 1 month before this decision, a federal judge struck down Indiana's vehicle seizure laws as unconstitutional. Under state law, it could take up to 180 days before a hoosier could get their day in court. Both of those cases in turn relied on Crimstock v. Kelly, a landmark decision written by none other than Sonia Sotomayor, before she joined the U.S. Supreme Court. In Crimstock, New York City's DWI vehicle seizure program was deemed constitutionally infirm because cars could be retained for months or sometimes years without any prompt hearing before a neutral fact finder. That case could also provide some legal firepower to a new class action lawsuit against U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Last month, the Institute for Justice filed suit CBP on behalf of Gerardo Serrano, an American citizen and lawful gun owner who had his truck seized in 2015 because CBP agents found 5 bullets inside. Gerardo, who was never charged with a crime. 1 month after he filed his lawsuit, and more than 2 years after his truck was taken, the CBP finally returned his Ford F-250. His lawsuit for other property owners is still ongoing. No judge would have approved the seizure of Gerardo's truck, noted Anya Bidwell, an attorney at the Institute for Justice. And that's precisely why CBP is giving it back. We're just saying the agency should have to explain themselves to a judge promptly after it first takes the property.
Well, they are the profits on the war against drugs. Money and items seized by police going back to the department to help fight crime.
But how Saginaw County handles that has resulted in 2 recent lawsuits. Is it a sign of a bigger problem? One of the suits involves one of the county's own deputies.
Evidence in that case may reveal more on the internal battle going on over those funds. Earlier this year, we told you about Garrett DeWise, a deputy suing the sheriff over the department's handling of a bag of money taken in a drug case.
And as ABC 12's Terry Camp investigates, secret recordings we have obtained from court records show there appears to be a lot of disagreement on the county's procedures.
During a March 2016 meeting between Sheriff Bill Fetterspiel and Sheriff Department employees, the sheriff appears to be concerned that the use of drug forfeiture money in a particular case would look bad just months before a millage election and the sheriff's primary. Now, the meeting was recorded by Deputy Garrett DeWise.
Hey, Sheriff, we put out a FOIA request for a particular case number. Oh, really? Where'd you get the case number, Terry Camp? I can't divulge that. Oh, what's it about, Terry Camp? Oh, it's about misappropriation of $23,000.
The case the sheriff was referring to was a Drug Enforcement Administration investigation involving a Genesee County businessman that involved a traffic stop here in this area of Flushing. The man forfeited more than $22,000 and 2 handguns in February 2014 to the sheriff's department, which was working with the DEA. The man was never charged with a crime. Court papers indicate Garrett DeWise says he protested when the sheriff's department used that money for more confidential informant drug buys. It was kept in an evidence bag in the department's property room. During a June 2016 meeting with Fetterspiel, DeWise, who was in charge of the evidence room, explains why he thought it was wrong to use the money. DeWise recorded this meeting as well.
I felt that what happened was not legal or ethical, and that's why I did what I did by arbitrarily taking that money from the property room and using it as buy funds was in my mind misappropriating the funds by inflating your budget.
On the tape, Fetterspiel says he didn't think it was wrong to use the money in this fashion.
There are no improprieties that I can find.
I spoke with several sheriffs across mid-Michigan and the Michigan State Police. All said drug forfeiture money coming into their departments would be put into some type of an account and never be removed from an evidence room. On one of the recordings, Fetterspiel explains to DeWise that County Controller Robert Bellman at one time was preventing the Sheriff's Department from spending drug forfeiture money. On the tape, Fetterspiel admits that instead of putting drug forfeiture money into an account at the County Treasurer's office, he instructed his staff to keep the money at the Sheriff's office.
So in the meantime, we're going to work around it. That's what I was instructing them to do. That's what I said to do. If you feel that you're going to deposit that money over there and you're never going to see it again, then use it. And isn't that what I'm supposed to do as the sheriff? Make sure that we get what's coming to us first.
Fetterspiel explains that he believes it's possible Bellman used some drug forfeiture money to renovate the county commissioner's meeting room last year. The law states money should be used for law enforcement purposes only.
If it goes through the courts, becomes adjudicated, we can spend it on law enforcement purposes. Bellman can't use my forfeiture money to renovate the board office, but he can use my general fund money and then replenish it with my forfeiture. That's improper. So you were complaining to the people who are actually stealing the money that goes to us.
In his lawsuit, Garrett DeWise claims he was disciplined and reassigned for his protests and for informing the Saginaw County Controller's Office that the money in the evidence room was being used. I talked with the Sheriff Bill Fetterspiel and County Controller Robert Bellman about the recordings and about the county's procedures when it comes to forfeited drug money. They both declined comment because of the pending litigation. In Saginaw, Terry Camp, ABC 12 News.
Need a car? Don't forget to stop by carmarshal.com where you can scout through over 100,000 new and used car vehicles. Take a look around. Get you a new affordable car. carmarshal.com.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts, 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. It is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that's that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now, where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran on, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran on no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.